What's up, everybody? It's Carpo here. I figured I'd make a video today talking about the conspiracy world, or you might call it the truther world, or people being awake, if you will. It's a subject I used to talk about all the time, and a couple comments just led me, to think about making this video. Somebody who left a comment saying that they were just getting into their conspiracy phase, if you will, and somebody else who had left a comment the other day, and it was something to the effect of them being upset. It was one of my older videos, and they were talking about how people always hint about going down the rabbit hole, and finding these truths. Then he says, but you don't tell anybody what they are. And he said, fuck you, and something else. And I was like, wow, people really think that you can just share secrets that you've discovered in your life with, in words. One of the hardest things for me is to define some of the experiences I've had. Some of the most wild realizations that I've had are very metaphoric in my life. So, but this is more about, the idea of a person being awake. It really has absolutely no meaning to me. Being awake to me just means that a person has made a decision that they are going to listen to the facts and the truth. But just because a person, rants on a conspiracy website does not mean that they're awake in any way, shape, or form to me. If they're ignoring the other point of view from people who are disagreeing with them, then they're not awake. They're just, they're still sheep. They're just following a different shepherd. And one of the strongest human drives is to be part of a group, to feel like we belong. We can't exactly define that, but we all know that it exists. We all know that people want to be part of a group, and therefore people who are outcasts in society, and I'm one of them. I've always felt distant and apart from other people, and I know most people feel that way, so it is kind of a universal thought, but not all of us had a group in high school or elsewhere to hang out with. To me, I got to a point in my life where I realized the disillusionment, that I was disillusioned with the system, that even though I thought I was aware of what was going on, there was so much more to it. And when I got into my 20s, I got really into the conspiracy realm, if you will. Reading William Cooper's work with Behold a Pale Horse, and guys like William Cooper. He bred out people like Alex Jones, who basically rode the coattails of Cooper's work. And Cooper was shot, a couple decades ago. But he left this legacy of all these conspiracies in this book that he'd written, and Alex Jones kind of fed off of that and used that for his own gain. And I've watched Alex Jones the whole time. Not watched him literally, but watched him come up and seen him and watched how more extreme his characters become, where he's actually deluded a whole new generation of followers, kids in their 20s, or teens and 20s, who maybe have just discovered Alex Jones and think, this guy's telling me the truth. He's an actor. He's just like anyone else. He's out for getting people riled up so you will buy his stuff and get upset, because the thing that I've learned is that bias brings ratings, okay? No matter how you look at it. And it's not going to change. So there are going to be, if you have a balanced viewpoint, you'll get some moderate viewers, but you won't get the type of extreme, gung-ho attitude that people get by ranting about how the liberals are causing all these problems, and then now we've got the liberals out here ranting about how conservatives are causing all the problems, and really, the bipartisanship in itself is the problem, but that's not going to stop either just because we want it to. The thing is, who are the wise men? Who are the real teachers out there? There was a time when those truthers today who think that they're telling everyone the truth and that that they're the first generation of people to reveal the truth, it's hogwash. We had several groups throughout history who have exposed the truth through underground journals, and they just didn't have the internet to sit behind a desk and a computer in a room and just pretend like they have the truth to everything and the answers to everything. These were people who were dedicated to one cause or two causes or three causes, and there could be several, but each group generally fought for the rights of themselves or those who they felt needed representation. But there was a lot of strength behind that one movement, as opposed to today where it's not just a person talking about one one conspiracy or one angle on, some, hidden illusion. It's that they want to talk about all of them. Everything is the problem. And, it's chemtrails, or it's, nuclear radiation, or all these different things the governments are doing and lying to us. But the thing you'll never see guys like Alex Jones do is actually go down to, say, an oil refinery and protest the fact that their pipeline spilled. Or go down to his neighborhood chemical plant and protest the fact that it's polluting the groundwater. These are things a lot of these people won't do. Because they're more interested in attacking things that they can't prove, such as saying that Sandy Hook is a hoax and that it never happened. If I'm sure there's a couple of you believe that, and you're welcome to. I'm not going to argue the point. What's happened is that like I said, we've been disillusioned for so long. We've realized sometimes when people wake up from the fact that they've been lied to, they lean way too far the other direction and assume that everything is a lie. It's almost like we will not be fooled again, right? I refuse to be fooled again, so I'm just not going to believe anything. And I've had several very intelligent subscribers and viewers of mine who have left comments. We've discussed back and forth over the years about how, everything's an illusion and nothing's real. When I look at it from my viewpoint, if I were out there experiencing something in my life, and it was a real life situation that I got into, and I came back and I shared it with my viewers and said, hey, I was just in this, let's say, this big shootout or a big fire. There would probably, and especially if I had a lot of subscribers, there would be people who would come on and say fake news. It's not true. And I hope I'm getting the point across without sounding like I just believe the media. First off, I don't watch the media. I don't watch the news. I scan the AP headlines, each morning, and that's it. I rarely read an article. I don't watch videos. I definitely don't watch anchors and people talking about the news with their own bias. And that goes for all sides, even alternative media, which I found disgusting these days. It's just appalling what I'm finding out there. There are some very balanced viewpoints, and I'm not going to point anybody out in particular that's good or bad, except for Jones, I used as the example. But the one thing I've learned about is that, we want things that are overly complicated and impossible to untangle, because it's easier to just, shake our fists at something that we're upset about. But it's not about, we complicate what life could be or what it should be by creating all these these problems and these. And people will say, I don't fear. It's not fear. I'm not scared. I'm just awake, and I'm just educating other people. And say, no, we're really not, when everything is fear-mongering every day from a lot of these people. If you go to any of these, sites that are based in, like, the InfoWars, there's no positive articles. There's nothing to benefit from. There's no real scientific discoveries. It's just like science is the enemy, religions are the enemy, except for Christianity, or whichever group that you're pandering to. And the question long ago, when I let all this shit go, I said, how does it serve me? How is it helping me to know this? And that's the one question I ask. So that's, I guess, the advice that I would give to the person who asked, he said, what's an advice for a person who's just getting into this? I would say, embrace it. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. Learning about these things that I did all through history, everything, even from the old JFK conspiracies, Project Blue Book. I was really into the alien thing. I was really and I was let down. I'll be honest. I was let down because a lot of the conspiracies turned out to be bullshit. Most of the alien, this stuff turned out to be bullshit. And there's still these channels out there, which I won't name because I don't need to. There's like 2 or 3 main UFO channels on YouTube that upload every day, sometimes multiple times. And it's anything and everything. It doesn't even have to be a UFO. It could be a known fake UFO, but they've just got to get the views, got to get those ads out there so you can get that revenue. And it's really hard for anybody who just wants to spread a voice of reason. And in my belief, it's no different than the past, because I didn't live in the past, I live in now. But I see that the philosophers are marginalized, and people want to hear what certain people have to say, but not unless it agrees with their viewpoint. And that's not what awake is, in my viewpoint. So I guess that's what it is. That's where I was coming from, and what I was hoping to get across in this video is that, don't want to have regrets in life because we wasted time doing things that were pointless. But when we really look back at it, everything we've done is pointless. The idea is to fit as much as we can into that, and get as much knowledge as we can without overburdening ourselves and pretending like we know something that others don't. And that's one of the, that's one of the traps that the conspiracy realm gets, is that people become part of a group. They become very cozy, comfy in this little group. And it wasn't until I started interacting with these groups, when I was somebody who had researched these things for 15 years myself, just like these other people, and I thought, well, they might be open to the fact that this is something different. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't dare question a person's basically religious views about their conspiracy, whatever it might be. And I hate to use that term, but you know where I'm coming from when I say conspiracy, because everybody else says, well, they're conspiracy theories, or it's conspiracy channel. It's sad, because there's so much information out there that we really can share and that we really can gain from, but it's not that exciting. The real exciting discoveries are very rare, and I find more joy reading scientific articles and more fascination reading new biological discoveries and neuroscience than I do wondering what might be happening with some group of old white men behind closed doors in a Bilderberg meeting, or the Illuminati, Freemasons do with their time. Life is short. Don't waste it on that bullshit. It's really not worth it. The secret society stuff, even if it's true, you're not going to do anything about it. There have been families gathering power for centuries, if not millennia, and there's nothing you're going to do to stop it. So you might as well try to, do your best and enjoy your life as much as possible, and deal with the problems in your own neighborhood. So hopefully the next generation wisens up and realizes that it's not about concentrating wealth or power. It's about sharing it that we get the most satisfaction. And that's knowledge, wisdom, all of that needs to be shared with the next generation, so they don't have to face the same bullshit, but inevitably they will. So hope you all are doing well. That's all I got for today. Talk to you all later, and I'll see you later. Peace.